Hey guys, welcome back to Jay's Fitness. I'm Jeremiah from Malaysia. Today I'll be sharing 3 fitness myths with you guys. I have 2 training myths and one supplement myth that I want to share with you guys. And I think it's very important for us to distinguish between what is real and what information is real out there and what's false. And there are a lot of fitness myths, nutrition myths and diet myths that are out there that it can get very confusing. So I want to share some myths that have been proven false that many people still believe are out there. And if you haven't checked out my previous videos I've made on training, nutrition, diet myths, you can click on the videos on the screen, or you can click in the links that's down in the description down below. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, myth number 1 is that the more you sweat, the more fat you burn. This is very common. Many people believe that when you sweat a lot after a workout, that's when it shows you work very hard and you've burnt a lot of fat. And that's not exactly true. Sweating is just basically a biological response of our that we have to cool our body down. So basically when you work out, your body temperature rise, and that's when your body sweat to cool your body down. So just because you're sweating a lot does not mean that you are burning off fat. There are many different factors as to why some people sweat more than others, whether it's genetics and whether how much water you drink and stuff like that, how intense your workouts are. But just because someone sweats more does not mean that he or she is burning more fat than maybe if you don't sweat as much after a workout. Nowadays gyms have a lot of aircon and stuff, and you can't really sweat it out. It's not very easy to get drenched, and so that does not mean that you don't have a good workout, and that does not mean that you are not burning fat or burning calories. Alright, myth number 2 is that supplements are magic. Many people, this is very common, especially with beginners. Many people think that supplements help you gain a lot of muscles or lose a lot of fat in a short period of time, and that's not true. When it comes to whatever your goal is, you want to gain muscle, lose weight, gain endurance, whatever it is, gain strength, training and nutrition is key. Those are your main, and obviously rest. So you have training, nutrition and rest. Those are the most important thing, and then supplements just help a little bit. So especially if you're new, I really encourage you to focus more on your training, nutrition first, and then you can add in that, if your nutrition and training are very good, then you can add in that, some of those supplements to help supplement. That's why it's called supplements, to supplement your diet, your good diet and good training. And I'm talking about supplements you see in a store, like whey, creatine, pre-workout, BCAAs, all these supplements. I'm not talking about anabolic steroids, and that's a whole different topic I don't want to cover here. So I'm talking about, I guess, all these natural supplements that you see in the stores. Since I'm talking about supplement, I have a quite interesting story to share. And actually there's one guy a few years back, he asked me to recommend, he was like, hey, can you recommend me, a good protein supplement? So yeah, I recommended him the same brand that I was using at that time. And after a few months, after he was done, he came back to me. He was like, can you recommend me another protein supplement? So I was a bit confused. So I was like, oh, why? I already recommend you a really good one. Like, why do you want to change? It's like, can you actually recommend me a protein supplement that actually work? Because the one you recommend to me sucks. So yeah, supplements are not magic. His training and diet was not good, and that's why even though he took protein for many months, that did nothing. He did not gain muscle, did not lose any fat. So remember that, focus on your training and nutrition, especially if you're new, and then you can add in supplements if you already have a good training or nutrition. Alright, the final myth number 3 is that muscles will turn into fat once you stop training. And this is very common. So many people think that once you train, you gain all these muscles, and once you stop, what happens when you stop? Whether you got an injury, you have to stop for a while, whether you got go for a holiday trip, whether you just stop completely because of work, change your priorities. When you get older, many people think that all these muscles will turn into fat, and that is extremely false. Muscles don't turn into fat. I've covered this in a different video. Muscles don't turn into fat, and fat don't turn into muscles. So basically, some people, I'm sure a lot of people know people who used to, lift, who were pretty big, and then once they get older, they start, seemingly all their muscles turn into fat, and they get very fat, and they're not big and muscular anymore. And that's because when you stop lifting, your muscles will atrophy. It means your muscles get smaller because you're not using those muscles. You're not putting the same tension. You won't be lifting the same anymore. You won't be putting on that much tension in your muscles anymore, and that's why your muscles will shrink. It won't turn in fat, it will shrink, become smaller. And once your muscles shrink, A lot of people who used to lift and eat a lot because they want to gain muscles will still have the same, appetite. So they'll eat as many calories, but they're not training, so they're not burning that calories, not using those nutrients. So if you're eating so much and you're not training anymore, obviously you gain fat. So your muscles shrink, you gain fat, and you become fatter. And many people think that that's because your muscles turn into fat, and that's not true. It's actually just muscles shrinking, and you gaining, the person gaining fat, and that's why people get that myth. And that's not true. Alright guys, so those are the 3 myths that I wanted to share. If you learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up, and check out my other training, fitness, nutrition myths videos on here, and also subscribe for future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.